How's it going, everybody? I'm Chris.
And I'm Christina.
And today we're doing a pickups video. Now, last week we went to a convention called Anime North, and if you don't know what that is, well, it's an anime convention. Basically, vendors guess your typical anime convention, but it's the largest one in Canada.
And it takes place right here in Toronto.
If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, hello, we're back. Laid back video today because, well, we got a lot of videos coming up hopefully in the near future. If you haven't seen our previous videos where I do a room tour, feel free to check that out. But as well, if you wanted to learn more about the anime convention and our experience this year at Anime North, be sure to check out our video called The Con Expedition at Anime North 2017. It was a very interesting experience. I do some odd things. We see some cool stuff. It's just a really fun watch for those who are interested in anime or just want to see me do weird things. Now, we do feature some items in that video that we're going to show you here again, but there was a lot of stuff that was off camera that I picked up and Christina picked up. So we're going to show you that. So without further ado, let's get started. So in the video, there's two 64 games that I picked up and they were complete in box, and you'll see why it was a struggle to get one of them. And the first one I'm going to be showing you is Castlevania 64. It's a platformer, pretty okay game, nothing really special to it. I really wanted it because, well, it's my first Castlevania on a console. I have it on the Game Boy, so I really wanted to pick this up, and it's pretty cool. Nothing special. Gameplay wise, it's a third person platformer, nothing really special. So the next game that was in the video was Dark Rift. Now this is a 3D fighter, kind of slow gameplay, nothing really special to it, but complete in box. I picked it up for $8. I couldn't go wrong with it. Next up is the only GameCube game that I picked up, and it's a game that I've been wanting on the system for a long time, and that is Resident Evil 4. Now, I'm a big fan of Resident Evil 4. I've played on multiple systems. I started off with the PS2. I downloaded it on PS3. I played it on PS4. Hopefully on the PC eventually, and now the GameCube. Now, I know there's the one on the Wii, and I'll be sure to pick that up as well. Next game is X-Blade. Now, I don't really know much about it. It looks like a fighter from the back, but it could also look like a hack and slash as well. I picked it up because it was only $2, and you can't go wrong with a $2 PS3 game. So next up is some PS4 games, and it's been games that I've been wanting for a while, and the first one is Killing Floor 2. Now, Killing Floor 2 is a first-person horror survival shooter game. It's pretty fun. It's really good when you're playing with friends or just other people. It makes the game much more challenging. The first game was only available on PC, and I highly recommend you to pick up either one. It doesn't matter which one you pick up because the experience is the same. Next up is a game that I've been wanting for a while when it came out, but once I bought it, I realized that what did they do with this game, and that is Street Fighter V. Now, I just updated it for like 8 hours yesterday, and it was a pain to do because, well, you don't get the story mode right away. You have to download it, and I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. And the gameplay is fine. The game plays pretty well. I like it. But other than that, I'm kind of upset that with all the updates that you have to do, and no story mode right off the bat, and no arcade mode as well. I don't have PlayStation Plus right now, so this is pretty much the only thing I could do right now is just play computers and other people locally. Next up is the only 3DS game that I picked up, and it's been one that I've been wanting for a while, and it's Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Now, I played the original one on the GameCube, and I absolutely loved it. It was my first GameCube game, and I knew that I had to have it on the 3DS. Next up is a PS1 game that I was surprisingly able to find, and that is Mega Man 8. Now, I paid $10 for this. I thought it was worth it. When I was playing it the first time, I noticed that it had an anime intro, and I thought that was pretty cool because I've never seen that in a Mega Man game. But the gameplay is pretty much what you think. It's a Mega Man game, side-scroller shooter, platformer. it was definitely worth picking up. Next up is some free DVDs that I picked up. I looked at the table and the vendor just told me just to take them, and what they are is basically some Canadian wrestling DVDs. Now, Canadian wrestling, well, it's not on par with WWE, but they're still fun to watch. I thought was really interesting was that it has Samoa Joe. And if you don't know who Samoa Joe is, well, he's in the WWE now, and before he was part of the Great Canadian Wrestling. Fun little fact that AJ Styles was also in GCW, so if you're a wrestling fan, hey, that's cool. Next up is a PSP game, and it's been one that I've been wanting on the PSP for a while because I'm a big fan of the franchise, and it's Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops. It's been answering questions since I've been playing. It tells the meaning behind the Colonel's codec code. I thought that was pretty interesting. And I know that I'm going to learn more about Frank Yeager, and if you don't know who it is, well, he's a character in Metal Gear. But so far I've been enjoying it. Next up is a lot of Xbox original games that I picked up for $5, so basically $1.25 each. And the first one is Breakdown. It looks like a horror shooter game. I haven't played it yet. Next is Iron Phoenix. And Avatar: The Last Airbender. And Mark Echo's Getting Up. For $5, $1.25 a piece, you can't go wrong with that. So next are some comic books that I found for really cheap and I couldn't leave. It was a mission to take home, but I had to have them. And first up, we're going to go with two Fantastic Fours, and it's the Ultimate series. And well, I wasn't really a big fan of the Ultimate. I'm not a huge fan of the artwork of the covers and the borders that they did with them. I thought that was pretty generic. But for, I think, $5 for both, I just picked them up because why not? So the next comic is Captain Canuck, and if you don't know who it is, it's a Canadian superhero that we have. He's pretty cool. I've been wanting a large volume of Captain Canuck because I've been wanting to get into him, and for $5 for this beautiful softcover book, I couldn't go wrong with it. Next up is something I was surprised that I found, and it's Nelvana. Now, if you don't know who Nelvana is, she's technically the first female superhero, and not Wonder Woman. She is the first one. Such a shame that she'll never get a movie. But if you want to look into her, I highly recommend that you do because she's a pretty interesting character. And for $5, I had to pick it up.
So the first thing that I got at Nominichi on Friday night is the first 4 volumes of The Blue Exorcist.
So if you want to see them up close, here they are. Now, if you don't know what The Blue Exorcist is, it's basically this character named Rin. Turns out that he has demon powers, and well, he's dedicated to fight Satan and kill demons at the same time and become an exorcist. So it's volume 3, volume 4. Mephisto is one of my favorite characters in the series.
Originally, the first 4 mangas cost $15. However, she was willing to do $10 and I took it. And next up is one of my favorites. I actually got this for $10 and it is Spirited Away on DVD. Since last year's Nominichi, for those who've watched it, I've got Power Ranger stuff, and this year I've got Power Ranger stuff again. This is part of the morpher of Ninja from Super Sentai. One of the great seasons. I definitely recommend you guys to check it out.
It's really cool because when you open it up, it makes noises.
Don't break it! And I got the Green Ranger. Even though the box was open and I really want to get the Ninja morpher, both of them cost $15 each. However, I actually haggled for the first time, and the guy was willing to do both of them for $20, and I was very grateful.
So the next thing I picked up at the Nominichi was Mario Kart 64. Now, it's a racer. Many people had it when they were a kid and definitely know what it is. But along with it, the vendor threw in was Alien 3. Now this is a side scroller, nothing really special game. But for $40 for both of them, I picked them up. So the next thing I picked up are two Super Famicom games, and I was surprised that I found them. I bought them for $10 for both, and the first one is Final Fight 2. That's a side-scroller beat-em-up game. That's pretty cool because it has Hagar and the other two characters I can't remember, but it's a pretty solid game, and we played it on the channel. Next is Saturday Night Slam Masters, another game that we picked up. I think DC Verdire recommended it. It was a pretty fun game, and I didn't want to pay the full price for the actual game that was released here, so I picked it up on the Super Famicom. So the next two things I paid $20 for, and the first thing is The Last Story. Now you're thinking $20 is a really good deal, but it's the Japanese version, so I can't really play it until I figure out how to mod my Wii so I can play it. But I've been wanting this mainly because if you see the artwork, it just looks gorgeous, and when you open it up, I mainly got it because we did a review of the anime New Game, and the cover of that game reminded me of The Last Story, so I had to pick it up. So the next game that was part of it was Killer's Dead, the collector's edition. Now, I don't know anything about this game, but from looking at the graphics, it looks like a really fun game to play. Next up are some Yu-Gi-Oh mangas that I picked up for $15, basically $5 each, and I'm surprised. And that is Yu-Gi-Oh 5D, Volume 7, Volume 8, and Volume 8 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. Now, sadly, they don't come with the cards, but I'll probably find the cards eventually later on. Somebody will probably sell them singles for $1, so that's not a huge issue for me. I picked up some PS2 games. Now, if you're not familiar with the pickups that I've done recently, I try to pick up as many PS2 games as I can because I'm trying to complete a PS2 set, and I know that's crazy. There's a lot of sports games, but so far I've been just getting the non-sport titles, and I've been doing pretty good. I haven't gotten anything super big. I've picked up a few things here and there, but today I picked up some solid titles that I've been wanting to get because a lot of vendors and stores like to charge these games at a premium value just because they're JRPGs or they just look like they came straight out of Japan. So the first game is Phantasy Star Universe. Next is a classic on the PS2, an early release PS2 game if I'm right, and it's a must-have for anybody who's collecting for the PS2, and it is Shinobi. Now, I remember Shinobi's commercials back in the day where they say, "Shinobi's back!"
Where is he? Shinobi's back!
And basically what it is a third-person hack-and-slash game. Next up is a game that I've been wanting for a while. I could have gotten the HD version of it, but I wanted to pick up the PS2 version as well. And what it is Kingdom Hearts Rechain Memories. Next up is a JRPG that I've been wanting for a while because I don't have any of these games from any of the systems that it came out for, and it is Wild Arms 3. Now, if you don't know what this is, it's basically an RPG game. The graphics look really interesting, and I really want to get the first one because of the anime intro, and it has like that Western feeling. And from looking at the cover, it looks like it's the same thing as well. Next up is a game that recently came out on the PS4 as a remaster, but I decided to pick it up on the PS2, and what that is Rogue Galaxy. It plays similar to Kingdom Hearts, so if you've been wondering what this game is, think of Kingdom Hearts gameplay wise. But the game looks very nice. The cover definitely sells you on wanting to buy this game, and I definitely recommend that you pick it up. Now next is the lot that I feel like was the best lot in the entire convention. It was at the nominee sheet. I paid $10. They are comic books, and I was surprised that they were only $10, and I had to pick them up no matter how much they were. quantity wise. And the first one is Captain Marvel. I'm not really sure what story arc is this from, or is it a collective issue book? I'm not really sure.
Let us know if you know.
Next is the appalling movie that came out, and the prequel to it is the Green Lantern. Next up is Green Lantern Rebirth. Green Lantern No Fear, and Green Lantern Showcase. And one that I've been dying to read, and I've been wanting it for so long, but I can never find a hardcover, or it's missing the cover of it, and that is The Blackest Night. I've been interested in this series for so long, and I've finally had a chance to get it for really cheap. And well, now I just need Brightest Day, and I'll probably be a mission to get that as well.
And on that note, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.
If you went to Anime North, hello. Hope you had a good time. Feel free to tell us what you thought of this year's Anime North. And if you went to Anime North this year and you bought some stuff, feel free to tell us what you got. Because we'll be more than happy to know what you got, because, well, I like to know what people have.
Sharing is caring after all.
And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hello again. And if you're a returning subscriber, well, be sure to check out the latest video that we posted last week. It was definitely a fun video to make. It was us at the anime convention. You'll definitely have a good time watching it because, well, we really liked going to that convention, and, well, it was a mission to make, so I would really appreciate it if you check out the video.
Please notice us, senpai. Plus, if you really enjoyed this video of our pickups and what we got at Anime North, please give it a like.
But without further ado, we're going to be ending this. Hope you have a good day and take care.
Thanks for watching.